These lecture video guides cover how to use the BA2 Plus Professional Calculator. The following sections will be covered. Section 1, Basic Calculator Functions. These are the learning outcomes. To turn your financial calculator on or off, you simply need to press this key. To access any secondary functions on your financial calculator, you need to press the second key, then you would have to press the key corresponding to the desired secondary function. So that we are all on the same page on this point, imagine you are interested in resetting your financial calculator to default mode. Unfortunately, reset is a secondary function. So how do you go about it? The first thing you need to do is to press the second key. Then afterwards, you would press plus or minus key. Upon pressing this, you would see on the face of your financial calculator RST with a question mark. Are you sure you want to reset your financial calculator? If you are sure, then the next thing you will do is to press enter. Enter is somewhere here. So we have it. Candidates do reset their financial calculator to default mode to prevent previous input from affecting new problems or calculations. To find the reciprocal of a number, how do we go about it? Let us imagine we're interested in finding the reciprocal of 3. So the first thing here is to press 3. Then you would simply press 1 over x. And I expect it to have 0.3333 and so on. To set decimal precision to fixed format, let's say 6 decimal places, how do you go about it? The first thing to note is that we need to access format. Format here is a secondary function. To access it, we will have to press the second key. Then this key. Upon pressing these two keys, you would see on the face of your calculator D EC, how many decimal places are we interested in? We're interested in 6 decimal places. We want to set our financial calculator to 6 decimal places. So you have to press 6, then enter. This is enter here. Once you are done with this, you would see on the face of your financial calculator something of this nature. 6 decimal places. So I want to believe we're fine with this. Before we move on to this, there is a particular issue with just setting your financial calculator to 6 decimal places. Let us assume that you are interested in solving 1 over 4. 1 over 4 is 0.25. Unfortunately, since you already set your financial calculator to 6 decimal places, upon doing 1 divided by 4, what you would see on the face of your financial calculator would be 0.250000, because your financial calculator has been fixed to 6 decimal places. But we know that you do not need this, since the final number stops here. So a better way to set your financial calculator to, in terms of decimal precision, is floating format. If you are given this to solve for 1 divided by 4, and you have set your financial calculator to floating format, your answer would be 0.25, and it will show you 0.25 without unnecessary zeros after the 5. But if you need to solve for 1 divided by 3, then it will show you 0.333333 till you get to the last digits that the financial calculator can accommodate. So I prefer that your financial calculator would be in floating format. So to set your financial calculator to floating format, then it would be second function still, format, but now you will have to press 9, then enter. Currently, our financial calculator is on 2 decimal places. We want to change these 2 decimal places to 6 decimal places. So to do that, we would press second function, then format. Since we are interested in 6 decimal places, we would press 6, then enter. 1 divided by 2 should give us 0.5, but because our financial calculator is on 6 decimal places, we have additional 5 zeros, which are obviously unnecessary. 1 divided by 4, that should give us 0.25, but because our financial calculator is on 6 decimal places, we have additional 4 zeros after the 5, which are obviously unnecessary. 1 divided by 3 is 0.333. Since our financial calculator is on 6 decimal places, then we have 6 threes. So let us change our financial calculator to floating decimals. So to do that, what do we need to do? Press second function, then format, then 9, and enter. Let us look at the store function and the recall function. On your financial calculator, this is the store function, and we have the recall function here. To better understand how to use the store function and the recall function, let us look at this question. Imagine you were given this on the exam day to compute, and you want to compute this without writing anything down on paper. So the first part is to compute this. To compute this, it will be 34. That's 3, 4 times the whole of this, which is 5, 6, 4, 3. I expect you to get this. So what we need to do is to store this. Since we do not want to write anything on paper, to store it, this is the store function. So we can press this, STO. We can store this number on any of these numbers here. Imagine we intend to store this number on 1, so we would press STO and 1. So you need to recall that this has been saved on 1 much more later. Moving on to the second part of the question, that would be 543 times what we have here, which is 9454. I expect you to get the whole of this, so we can store this again on 2. Please do not store this on 1, since we have stored the whole of this on 1, so we can store this on 2. So we would press STO 2. So we saved the whole of this on 1. We saved the whole of this on 2. So the next step is for us to divide this by this. So how do we go about it? We can make use of the recall function. So recall 1, so you would press this, and 1 divided by recall 2, since we saved the whole of this on number 2. Upon doing that, I expect your final answer to be equal to this. So let's get started. 3, 4 times 5, 6, 4, 3 will be equal to what? So we have it here. So what we need to do is to store this. You can store this on any number, but let us store it on 1. So you press STO, then 1. So moving on to the denominator. The denominator is 5, 4, 3 times 9, 4, 5, 4. What do we have? We have this. So let's store this on 2. STO 2. So now it's time for us to recall. So it should be recall 1 divided by recall 2. Then we have our answer. On the previous slides, we discussed the use of STO and the recall functions. To check stored memory values in your financial calculator, you need to follow the following steps. Before we get started with the steps, it is worth noting that we are interested in the MEM function. MEM function is memory management function. This key is obviously a secondary function. Since it is a secondary function, then we need to press the second key, then 0. So we will press this first and this. Upon pressing these 2 keys, you will have displayed on your financial calculator, on the face of your financial calculator, M0 is equal to 0. And it will be equal to 0 if you have nothing saved in 0. But if you have something saved in 0, then that number would be A. You can use the arrow keys, the arrow pointing upwards and the one pointing downwards, to move through stored values in memory locations. So you can make use of the arrow pointing downwards, which is this, the one pointing upward is this, to move from M0 to M1 to M2. So if you press this arrow pointing downwards from M0, you would move to M1, M2, M3, and so on. If you press this arrow pointing upwards, then you would move from M0 to M9. Let us get started with power expressions using these 3 functions. I have them here. This is x squared, This is square root of x, and this is y raised to power x. To compute 3 raised to power 2, what do you need to do? You would press 3. Upon pressing 3, then you would press x squared. I expect you to get 9. Still moving on, to compute 3 raised to power 4, I expect you to press 3, which is this. Then you would press yx, that is y raised to power x. Since what we have here is raised to power 4, then you would press 4. 4 is here, but we are not done yet. You will now press this key, the equal to sign key. I expect you to get 81 as your answer. It is worth noting that 3 raised to power 2 could also be solved using this method. So you can press 3, which is this. Then you press y raised to power x. But here you will have to press 2 since it is raised to power 2. Then you would press the equal to sign. I expect your answer to be 9. Still moving on, to compute the square root of 9, you would press 9. 9 is here. Then you would press this key, which is square root of x. Then I expect you to have 3. Still moving on, to compute the fourth root of 81. Unfortunately, there is no fourth root here, but we can deduce this fourth root using the laws of indices. During our high school days, we agreed that y root x is the same as x raised to power 1 over y. That implies that the fourth root of 81 can be rewritten as 81 raised to power 1 over 4. 1 over 4 is the same thing as 0.25. So 81 raised to power 0.25. So to solve for this, how do we go about it? We can make use of this as a reference. So we would press 81, that's 8, 1. Then we would press y raised to power x, which is this. Now, it's no longer raised to power 4, it is raised to power 0.25. That implies that we would press 0.25. Then you would press this key, which is here. I expect you to have 3 as your answer. Let us get started with solving for 40 times exponential 0.25. The first thing to do here is to press the power, which is 0.25, then second function, exponential, then times 40, that's 40. I'm sure we should agree with this answer. Let us solve for the natural logarithm of 1.2. To solve for the natural logarithm of 1.2, we would first press the number, that's 1.2, then you press ln, or we could say natural logarithm. Let us move on to algebraic order of operations, AOS mode. As far as AOS mode is concerned, it implies that you are interested in converting your financial calculator to follow BODMAS. What is BODMAS? B is bracket, O is off, D is division, M is multiplication, A is addition, and we have S as subtraction. So if we have something of this nature, 8 times 4 plus 64 divided by 1. How do you solve for this? From this BODMAS, the first operation here is bracket, so we need to solve everything we have here. 64 divided by 1 is 64. The second operation is off. We do not have off in this question. The third is division. The division has been settled already. The fourth is multiplication, so we need to solve for this. 8 times 4 is 32. After multiplication, we have addition, so we can now solve for the whole of this. Solving for this would be 96. The default mode of your financial calculator is without the AOS mode. So try solving this without the AOS mode. So press 5, which is this, then press plus, which is this, then press 3, then times, which is coming from here, then 2, you would get 16. 16 is completely wrong. To set your financial calculator to AOS mode, that is, you want your financial calculator to enforce BODMAS. How do you do that? The first thing you need to do is to press second function. This is second function here. Then you would press format. That's here. Then you would press the down arrow 4 times. So this is the down arrow. You would press it 4 times to reach CHN, the chain mode. Then you press second function again, which is this, and you would press set to set your calculator to AOS. You're still not done, then you press second and quit. Once you are done with this, then your calculator is set to solve questions of this nature that has to do with board maps. So now let us compute this same question. After we are done setting our calculator to AOS mode, so press 5 now, then you press plus, then press 3, then times, which is this, and 2. Now I expect your answer to be 11. It is worth noting that there is an alternative way to solve this. You can put these two in brackets. So I can press 3 times, which is here, 2. That obviously will give you 6. Then you can add 5 to that. That's plus 5. Then you will have 11. Let us get started with solving 5 plus 3 times 2 without AOS mode. 5 plus 3 times 2. What do we have? 16. 16 is completely wrong. So a better way to go about this is to convert our financial calculator to AOS mode. So to do that, we would press second function, then format, then arrow down 4 times, 1, 2, 3, then 4. So we are on CHN, but we are not done yet. So now we need to press second function, set, so that we have AOS. Then we press second function, quit. So we are all set now. Five plus 3 times 2 is equal to what? We have our answer, which is 11. There is another way to solve this using brackets. 5 plus open bracket 3 times 2, then you close the bracket, equal to 11. Let us look at the percentage function. the percentage function is here. So here I am interested in how to convert a number in percentage form to decimals. So to convert 12% to decimals, you first need to press 1 and 2. Then you will now press percentage. With this, your answer would be 0.12. To convert 12% to decimals, how do we go about it? Press 1, then 2, and press the percentage key. Then you have your answer. Let us get started with permutations, combinations, and factorial. I will be starting with factorial. Four factorial is 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, and that is 24. But here we are interested in how to use our financial calculator to solve for this 4 factorial. So what you need to do here is to press 4, factorial is a secondary function here, so that implies that we would need to press the second function. Then you can now press this key here. Then I expect it to get 24. Moving on to permutation. The formula for permutation is n factorial all over n minus r factorial. Here we are interested in 3 permutation 2. That will be 3 factorial all over 3 minus 2 factorial. So solving for this, it would be 6 as our answer. So let us use the financial calculator to solve for this. So the first thing here is to press 3, and 3 is here. The permutation function is a secondary key, so that implies that we will have to press second function. Then you will press this key. But we are still not done yet. We need to press 2. Then equal to sign. Once you press that, I expect your answer to be 6. Moving on to the formula for combination. N combination R is equals to n factorial all over n minus r factorial, then r factorial. That implies that 3 combination 2 will be 3 factorial all over 3 minus 2 factorial, then 2 factorial. If you solve for this, I expect you to get 3. Now, using our financial calculator, I would start with 3. So you have to press 3. Combination is a secondary key, so you need to press second function. Then this key, but we are not done yet. We need to press 2. Then finally, you press the equal to sign. I expect you to get 3. Let us get started with 4 factorial. So here you would press 4, then second function times, I expect you to get 24. Moving on to 3 permutation 2. So here you would press 3, then second function minus sign, then 2. You can now go ahead to press equal to sign. Upon pressing the equal to sign, you will have 6. Let us compute 3 combination 2. So here you would press 3, then second function plus, then you would press 2, then thereafter you will have to press the equal to sign. I expect you to have 3.